Hey everyone, Mango7 here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Roozid. Today we're going to take a little bit of a more in-depth look of Roozid. I'm basically 100% done him, just with summon while we're at it too. And I want to show you him out in the raid. I was actually autoing the raid yesterday, and boy oh boy was it pretty easy. I was kind of surprised with this account. This is my alt account, so I never had stepped foot in the raid. So I had to actually quit out just to show you guys Roozid in action. So the goal behind this account is just to do little amounts of damage with the nail and just hit people with the nail over and over and over again with Chloe, because I will never take Chloe and Chloe out of this team as long as it's not impossible to do it with them. So my goal is just to play with the Chloes, and I thought what better way to play with these two Chloes than just to make them go as fast as possible, which is why we have Roozid here. And then for my fourth, I kind of rotated around. I'm not really happy with any of these options yet, so I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick. I'm leaning towards Corinne because she does get multiple attacks, and multiple attacks does make more nail hits. But for now, we're just going to use Clury just because it's a little safer, even though her gear is something else. Let's just say that. So our Roozid right now, I have him built with a Ranon's Memorandum. He's got a pretty crappy neck, but it's all we have. He's got the 71 lifesteal ring. Got the 35 booties there. He's got a pretty trash chest, a lifesteal helm, and a pretty crappy weapon. We also have every awakening but the last one here. I will not be getting that one just because it is ridiculous to get those, and we have everything but these ones here. So we're missing a little combat readiness, we're missing a little bit of damage, and we're missing a little bit of health. I tried to get those before this stream today, but I accidentally took away Surin's gear and gave them to Corinne, and now I can't do the Greater Wind Altar, so my bad on that. This account just hit level 60 last night, literally last night, so we do not have the best of everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Roozid out for a trip. Oh, by the way, did I show you his Mulagora? I should show you his Mulagora if I didn't, because that's kind of important. I've got Roozid at +3 right now, just to get the -1 turn cooldown. I plan to go up until -1 turn cooldown here, and then +15 effect chance. I plan to go to the +10 effect chance here as well. But aside from that, most of my Mulagora are in Maid Chloe right now. She's basically hoarding all of them. I have Diane built up, and I mullet her for some stupid reason, and I just don't use her anymore just because it's not as fun to use Diane. So I will see you in a little bit when we make it to the first boss. One thing to note too is they force you to go one direction when you're in the raid. I didn't know that. I actually planned to try to kill the Juleeve Council first, but they made me go left first, so I have to go this way. I don't know if this is new. I do not remember killing this boss first, but they 100% make you go for this boss first now. Kind of interesting. So I'll see you in a little bit. This team autos pretty well, so I hope you stay around for this boss, because it's going to be not so exciting. But we're going to kill him, and we're going to get some loot, so that's all that matters. Okay, we made it to the boss here. Just going to try this out. I honestly think I can maybe auto this. We're going to go in with our boy Roozid, and this is where you would use your third skill, but it's off cooldown right now because I was autoing the trash. My bad.
Ready?
And the goal of this boss is just to kill the little dudes. Then the boss uses his ability, loses immunity, and then you kill the boss. So I'm just gonna try to kill the little ones here.
The queen is here.
The queen is here. Pretty easy fight. I was really I probably could have done this a lot longer ago, or a while ago, like a week ago maybe, because definitely not having any trouble with this. And I'm going to just use Doggo here just to get the 2 ads before the boss gets a turn. And that way we can start laying into the boss here.
Show you justice.
So I buff up here into inability to buff, just like you probably should never do. That's a good step 1 here. Also, this team has no immunity and no dispel, so it's all about just surviving.
Chloe's on her
We do have our middle
Looks like you're
thing up,
losing.
so we're just gonna get some nail damage done here. That's the entire goal of everything. I'm gonna try to lower the speed. Speed is such an important debuff to have, and that's one of the reasons why I like Roozid. That said, it really sucks at 35% right now, so the odds of actually landing it are very, very low. And he goes again, so let's try to lower the speed. No go again, but it's okay because we're chunking the boss away with that insane damage. I'm actually going to just use a doggo here just to get those middle things a little bit lower, just a little bit lower. You can see like how little damage the boss does.
Ready? Set.
Okay, so we're just going to kill the little ones again. I'm going to try to buff up ahead of time here before we get inability to be debuffed. But we're not going to get our attack buff up, but that's okay. The cool part here is because the boss has nail up, even though he basically is taking minus 99% damage, we can still hit him. And it still does a good amount of damage. So like at this point, I can basically, I could have just attacked the boss and killed him there. One of those things I tried on auto and it worked yesterday, so I think that was really funny. We're just going to keep the damage in here. And I am just going to ignore the ads at this point because we can just tank them forever. It's fine.
Are you ready to order?
And by the time we get just a little bit lower and he puts immunity up, we should be able to get the second nail in, and then we'll be able to kill him through his invincibility, which is just hilarious to me. I can't even express how fun this team has been. Granted, I know I'm being carried by Chloe at this point, but it is still just hilarious to me, like what we're able to do with this team here. So we'll get the nail in again.
Let's move quietly.
We're not gonna bother to do that. Gonna keep doing this. He should get his buffs up here. Now we can buff up and just kill him through the nail, which is just so funny. And we can just auto the rest of this here. So this just kind of shows, this is a pretty bad showing because we don't get speed buff while we have inability to buff, but just shows how good he is at PvE. Obviously Roozid is not the showcase here, like it's the Chloe's doing the work, but he's never going to be the showcase because he's always going to be that unit that just, this is so funny by the way, you can't do any damage to him, it's just the nail. He's always going to be that unit that makes your other unit shine, which is why I think he's just so fantastic. He's kind of like a Shuri, I think, with a couple extra debuffs, so I think you sacrifice a little bit of combat readiness for a speed buff and a bunch of debuffs. So I am super duper duper in love with him, and he's so wonderful. Like I'm very, very, very happy to have him on my team, and I'm not going to take him off my team either. And I think he's going to be great for basically every little bit of content we can do, just because he's good everywhere. Like he is absolutely good everywhere, unless it's against a pure fire boss or something like that. He's got 2 debuffs, he's got super combat readiness, and it's up all the time if it's Mulligord, like super all the time. And you can even burn his 3rd skill to go again to make it up, come up even faster, but I don't think that's it. Yeah, just overall insanely happy with him. I'm still not entirely sure on his gear set yet. I want him to be as offensive as possible while being as fast as possible while staying alive. So that's the way I'm focusing on him. I'm trying to get it so he's as fast as possible, and then after that I'm focusing on as much damage as possible, and after that I'm just making sure he can survive. So that's the important part. I don't want him too tanky because it just, like, there's no reason to be too tanky. Like, you're not gonna die over your straight up DPS, so I definitely like him where he's at right now, and he does a respectable amount of damage. So yeah, there you go. If you want to see more Roozid or you want to see him anywhere specific, please let me know where. I'm using him everywhere. I use them in PvP too, but it's not so fun when you like combat readiness boost your team and then like make Chloe goes and attack buffs up and you bash somebody with your hammer for like 5k damage instead of cleaving like you should be doing. So not exactly the best PvP team, but he is amazing there too. So if you have any places you want me to use him, let me know. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll see y'all later. Bye now.